Welcome back to New Wave Therapy. This is our third podcast discussing the best kept secrets in supplements. I'm Bob Burdikin. Now, before we get started today, I want to take the time to thank all the new listeners to our series that's on the best kept secret in supplements. I personally want to thank all of the people that have taken an interest by liking, sharing, subscribing, and even hitting that notification bell. So, Dan, it appears that we've started this series that's of great interest, and I once again want to thank Dan Young of Country Doctor Nutritional Center for taking the time to be here today. Welcome, Dan.
Hey, Bob, it's my pleasure. I'm always excited about getting together with you and talking about the things that we use to help people restore health.
This is actually becoming a really great program, and actually we've gone up 6 times as far as people sharing these podcasts for over the last week alone. So
Wow.
Now, if I remember correctly, we ended the last podcast with the promise of discussing liver gallbladder products. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, one of the key areas that people need to focus on when in health restoration, and yes, that's going to be the focus of today's topic.
Okay, so what exactly does this product do?
Well, one of the beautiful things about the Country Doctor products is you don't have to be a doctor or a practitioner to benefit from the use of them. But
Okay.
you do need to understand a few things about how the body works and what it's trying to tell you when it can't perform optimally. And so what I thought I would do really quickly, just take 20 seconds and share with your viewers and listeners what you need to pay attention to so that you know my gallbladder, my liver needs some attention. It needs some natural support. And so today's always very important to me, Bob, and I bring notes. I don't like to leave
Great.
anything
Glad
to
to hear
chance.
that.
I don't like to leave anything to chance, but here's from a clinical perspective, we know of at least 24 different expressions that your body can experience when the liver gallbladder needs some support. And I'm just going to run through them real quickly, take 15 seconds.
Go ahead.
Dizziness, dry skin, burning feet, blurred vision, itching skin and feet, hair loss, occasional skin rashes, a bitter metallic taste in the mouth first thing in the morning, occasional constipation, feelings of insecurity and worry, nausea after eating, greasy foods tend to upset digestion, stools very light in color, where the skin on the heels of the feet actually peel and come off, discomfort between the shoulder blades, stools alternate from very soft to watery, sneezing attacks, dreaming, nightmare type bad dreams, halitosis, which is bad breath, milk tends to bother the person tends to be sensitive to hot weather, a burning or itching anus, and the person tends to crave sweets. These are just from pattern recognition, okay? When you think about modern disease management versus traditional care has ample science in one arena, pattern recognition. Over and over and over, we can recognize certain physical expressions that the body gives us. We never taught how to interpret them, but with a very simple list like this one, you can determine with some real accuracy that a liver gallbladder flush is one of the things your body needs to do, and you may need to do 2 or 3 of those back to back. And watch those physical expressions that I listed really melt away, diminish, and stop.
Okay. So you're saying like the product kind of cleanses the liver and the gallbladder? Doesn't that usually do that on its own, or is it just from day-to-day abuse that it gets this way?
Yeah, you touched on it. Over an extended period of time, the liver is the largest internal organ by volume of weight that we have. It's the industrial center. Everything that we're exposed to, that we breathe in or absorb through the skin or take in the diet or exposed to air or water pollutants, the liver has to process. So over an extended period of time, this system, like most systems, needs some TLC, needs to be cleansed and nourished. And that's what the liver gallbladder and the detox formula do very effectively.
Okay, well, I got a real important question here. Like, how does this product work for people such as myself who've had to have their gallbladder removed?
You know, when they did that procedure, they put a stent in there, so the bile is still being produced by the liver, and it's being deposited into the digestive system in first stage digestion. What happens is that that liver can coagulate. It can get a little bit of thickening to it. That's where we get gallstones. And so with doing the liver gallbladder flush is probably one of the most important things someone like yourself should consider about once a quarter minimum, or about 4 times a year, to really make sure that you've taken stress off of phase 1, phase 2 detox, hormonal production, enzyme production, and so on that the liver is involved with.
So you're saying it should be done like every 3 or 4 months or
Yes,
like that?
that would be a good routine, a good habit to get into.
Okay, okay. And are there other products or protocols that work hand in hand with this product, say to help the overall cleansing program or process?
You know, in our other video that we did, the ICF 1 and 2 is like the first phase of purification of the bowel. Then this liver gallbladder, the formula and it's a 2-step process, liver gallbladder in the tincture format right there.
Okay.
This process with the written instructions that are easy to follow, easy preparation, should be done 2 or 3 times initially the first time, just like we talk about, excuse me, with the liver gallbladder and the ICF 1 and 2. Initially, some people, because of a lot of buildup, a lot of congestion, a lot of times they've gone decades, if ever have they done this type of cleansing to restore optimum function. They may have to do that 2 or 3 times the first time. And then again, such as someone like you, who unfortunately did lose their gallbladder, you know, once a quarter as a nice maintenance. It takes about 5 or 6 days with a specific drink that you make up to take along with it. And it will actually restore optimum natural support function to the liver and the gallbladder.
Oh, okay. So that answers quite a bit of questions there. This is such a lot of information on how a person can start to realize a healthier lifestyle without too much change in their routine, right? So, but in other words, do you have any other
formula to the liver gallbladder?
Yeah,
they will see an increase in urination, but as far as it being an inconvenience, no, this can get through it very, very pleasantly.
Okay. All right. So anyway, I think that we pretty well covered what that product does. Is that correct? Or is there anything else you need to add? Or
I think it's just important for people to be aware that when they have some of those expressions physically that we listed, those 24 that we're aware of, unlike you know, blood work or biopsies, there's much safer ways to interpret what the body's trying to tell us and the support that it needs. And the liver gallbladder detox formulas are a broad spectrum to help restore optimum function and support the natural processes of the liver and the gallbladder.
Okay. Well, with that, I just want to remind people that we do put a new podcast up every Monday. And if they haven't already done so, to please like, share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. It all helps. And do hit their own notification bell. One last question, Dan. What are we going to be discussing in the next podcast?
Next week, we will cover the kidney bladder cleanse part of the protocol, which is the follow-up to the liver gallbladder cleanse in a very specific sequence.
Sounds great. Now, so until next week, when Dan and I bring you more of the best kept secrets and supplements, be safe and be healthy.